at Baker & Co. And today we are making what I like to call spiritless cocktails, which is not as sad as it sounds. So we're making cocktails with beer and wine, which isn't obviously traditionally what people make cocktails with. Why are beer and wine so great for cocktails?
Necessity is the mother of all invention. So we do not have a liquor license. As much fun as liquor is to use, there are other things in the realm of alcoholic beverages. Lucky enough, vermouth is a fortified wine, so we could use it to make cocktails, and it's delicious. Vermouths run the gamut as far as the traditional vermouth that you're used to in a martini, which is just the sweet vermouth or the dry vermouth, but they actually taste by themselves neat, like many wines or amaros. Therefore, you could use them in a lot of different ways, and also the beauty of making cocktails in any cocktails, whether you're using beer, wine, or liquor, is just finding the right balance between ingredients. So it's like cooking. Beer by itself varies in flavor and profile across the board, and the best thing to do is probably keep what you're using to make the beer cocktail as simple as possible. Because if you start playing with it too much, then you'll lose a lot of the flavor that the beer gives you. Vice versa with the wine. Although usually when you make cocktails, because there's beautiful expensive wines out there, you generally use cheaper wine. You wouldn't want to use a Barolo to make a wine cocktail. So we've all had table wine, we all have, you know, house red, house white. Mixing with those things makes it a lot more experimental, a lot more fun, kind of like sangria.
And so what are some of the types of items that you will mix into beer and wine cocktails?
Basically just simple syrups and fruits and or plants. So the sage and the basil and herbs are the things that bring out extra flavors that you could already find in the beer and or the wine. You wouldn't want to add more liquids though.
Right, fair enough. And so what are the two cocktails we are making today?
So today we're going to make the Hotella, which is a play on words because all beer is made with hops. And Valpolicella is a type of Italian red wine. We're an Italian restaurant. So it's a red wine beer cocktail with Moretti lager and basil.
Great. And what's the other one?
And the other one is going to be the Ki Rosa, which is a type of vermouth. There's two types of Koki. There's the original, which is a dark vermouth, and then there's the Rosa or Rosé, which we infuse with habanero peppers.
Great. Well, will you show us the steps of the first one?
Absolutely. Stuff a mixing glass. And you want to do 3 ounces of red wine, generally any red wine. Darker, a little more full-bodied and flavorful would be better.
Great.
Get a simple shrub, which is basically a simple syrup made with vinegar. Equal parts sugar and hot water. Add vinegar to that. 1 ounce of that. And then some fresh basil, about 5 or 6 leaves, depending on the size. Put some fresh ice, 1 scoop. A light shake. Don't want to bruise it too much. Then we double strain all our cocktails so you can get all those ice particles out.
So it can still have the texture of a wine.
Correct. And then finally we just top it off with Moretti lager, an Italian lager. And I like to just give it a hint of IPA because the hops will add a citrus nose and it's a little bit more flavorful than the Moretti. You gotta make it pretty.
Can't just drink it all.
Some basil so that when you drink it, you smell.
That is delicious, thank you. It's perfect. So on to the next.
I would put one dried habanero pepper in this bottle and let it sit for 2 hours and then remove it. Otherwise, you will die.
Just 2 hours?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
And that might even be a lot.
Okay, so do not
just
go
a hint
too far.
of spiciness.
Okay.
Correct. We do just 1 ounce of that. Habaneros get very spicy. Then some white wine. Any white wine will work. 1 ounce of that also. Right now we're using a Falanghina, which is an Italian white wine. Pinot Grigio, Sauvignon Blanc, anything will work. Carpano Bianco is an Italian Bianco vermouth. Bianco's a different type of vermouth. It's not martini, it has to say Bianco.
So we're doubling vermouth here.
2 vermouths. 3/4 of an ounce of that.
So just a little bit. Cardamom bitters.
Bitters, correct.
Great.
2 dash. Then, nice scoop of ice. And stir it up, mix it up. You're gonna wanna do this for about 30 seconds.
Till your hand gets tired?
Correct.
And why not shake it?
The point of what we're doing right now is to dilute the drink a little bit. Adding water on some level will bring out all the flavors and combine the ingredients together. But you don't want to do it too much. Shaking it would like bruise the cocktail and it would water it too much. So you just want to be gentle.
We do not want to do that.
Yeah.
We want non-bruised cocktails.
Exactly.
Is your hand tired yet?
No, getting there.
Almost.
Double strain again, get those ice particles out. And finally, this is a grapefruit. You're just gonna rim the glass and twist. And then discard the grapefruit, not leave it in there. This way when you sip it, it's just gonna give it an essence.
So it's just done. And that's great. And the cardamom bitters really add a lot.
Correct.
I got my 2 cocktails here. Thank you so much for teaching us how to make cocktails with beer and wine.
You're welcome.
Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Anytime.